what this environmental commissioner's report today says about the government and its awareness on issues from oil sands to climate change?
It really is a shocking report in that it says we don't know what's going on. There isn't enough information. Scientists are saying we don't have the information to assess what's going on with Kyoto. We don't have the information in particular to assess what's going on with the oil sands. It shows that this government has a plan, and that plan is to fail miserably on all accounts when it comes to our Kyoto obligations and figuring out what's going on with the oil sands. I asked the Environment Commissioner today at committee if this was sort of, we never have all the answers, right? So is this a typical, scientist looking for some more information, we can't have all the answers? And he said no, there is a profound lack of information. The information is non-existent in some cases. It's a very scary proposition.
This obviously goes back to the Liberals before the Conservatives, but the Conservatives have been accused of sort of shutting down science. They ripped up the long-form census. They've censured scientists who speak out against them. Do you see this as just incompetence, or do you see this as an effort to suppress, deliberately not get information that might fly in the face of your ideology?
Well, you've got examples like Richard Colvin, where the Conservatives went after his credibility. You've got examples like scientists at Environment Canada right now. The scientist who has discovered this Ontario-sized hole in the ozone layer, he's not able to talk to media. They really are coming down hard on scientists, but also folks who are willing to come forward and speak the truth. In terms of what's their plan, is it just that they want to ignore the science, or is this ideology? I mean, it's hard to imagine that this is, we had an Environment Commissioner's report in 2007, again in 2009, saying a lot of the same things, making the recommendations, showing how to fill these information gaps, and yet there's this head in the sands approach. It makes me wonder what is going on in the bigger picture. It makes me wonder if they are truly trying to set up these programs to fail. If they fail, maybe we get to move on and not worry about them. I have a lot of questions about that. But what we do know is they're not paying attention to the science. They're not paying attention to the Environment Commissioner's recommendations year after year. And we just don't have the information about what's going on.
So what does it say about their commitment on the environment?
I see absolutely no commitment on environment. I see no commitment when it comes to our Kyoto obligations. And I see no commitment to listening to the good, sound advice of people like the Environment Commissioner and the Auditor General's office on how to actually fix things.
We've seen two federally funded reports in the past week. The Roundtable report estimated that climate change could cost $5 billion a year by 2020. And this report noted stop-and-start programming is creating industry uncertainty. So what does this say about their economic record?
This report that comes out today says to me that this Conservative government are terrible managers. We have handed over $1.5 billion to provinces to deal with climate change, and we don't even know where that money went. These kinds of programs, environmental programs, are already under attack, and now we're just handing over money without saying where is it going, what are your emissions. There's absolutely no reporting mechanism. We know nothing about where this money went. How is that a good use of our funds? How is that good fiscal management? It makes no sense. And then if you look at the long-term implications of these reports coming out saying that climate change is going to cost us billions a year within 10 years, this government has got to figure out how to become good managers, how to become good fiscal managers. They're failing miserably on that right now.
When it comes to public debt and deficit reduction, the government seems to be focusing on the cost of future generations. Why do you think they're not doing the same thing with climate change?
I would challenge the fact whether they're thinking about the cost of future generations. I think that's just rhetoric, and the reason I feel comfortable saying that is this is a perfect example. This is the cost of future generations of climate change, as we've seen in black and white in these reports, is monumental. There's no action on it. There's absolutely no action on it.
What do you see in terms of that's in the report as ammunition for those who want to stop the pipeline?
In terms of relating the report to the pipeline, I'd say that there's ample evidence showing that there isn't any kind of plan when it comes to the cumulative impacts of environmental assessments, the cumulative impacts of the oil sands. So if we don't know what we're getting ourselves into, we don't know about the acidification or not of lakes in Saskatchewan. We don't know about the impacts on wildlife. So I would think that as it relates to the pipeline, folks would be saying, well, at the very least, we need a plan. We need to stop and think about where is the plan. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that the government should have a plan. It is absolutely what they should be doing. And right now, it's a free-for-all.
What did you find most shocking about the Environment Commission?
I guess, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick one thing as always, but I guess the point about scientists saying we got nothing. We don't know what to tell you. There isn't enough information here for us to even tell you what the cumulative impacts are. That really struck me, that they're saying we do not know.